Good of you to join us on the Weather Network. It is Friday, September the 25th, and it's usually around this time on Fridays that we like to bring in our night sky guy, Andrew Fazekas. Andrew, how are you today?
Doing great, Chris.
All right, Andrew, thank you for joining the program as always. And I'll tell you something, the fall time can be a particularly good time for viewing the night sky, and you're going to tell us why.
Well, the leaves are falling and, there's a chill in the air. But I tell you, there's something really electric happening, and it's in the skies. And autumn is peak time for the northern lights. Early autumn, particularly, seems to be a prime time viewing of the aurora borealis, and we don't know why. It's a mystery why they peak, but you can see they come in an array of beautiful colors: greens, purples, blues. They tend to most of the time appear in the northern regions of our country. So folks in places like Yellowknife and Whitehorse would see a lot of them, even places like Edmonton. But many times, actually, they do go more south. And in the autumn, this is your best chance. Now, we don't get a very good forecast more than 2-3 days in advance notice. If there's a cloud of charged particles being thrown off the sun, that's what causes the auroras. This cloud of charged particles get funneled through our atmosphere through the north and southern pole, and then they excite the particle molecules in the atmosphere and they cause them to glow. So that's why we get these beautiful curtains of light dancing in the sky. But the best way is to look towards the northern horizon around midnight. I've got on my website, thenightskyguy.com, some really good forecasts that you can look up to see if there is something on its way. And usually get, like I said, a 2-3 day notice. But next few months is prime time. Awesome.
And it really is something where once you see it, you never forget it. And of course, people who live in northern latitudes, get to see it all the time. But still, it can be just wonderful. Andrew, we're going to get space news in a second. I just want to show the overnight conditions to see where we can, where we might be able to see, or at least the best chance to see some northern lights, perhaps, or just even regular old stargazing. And we see a fair amount of clear skies on this screen, but it's cool, so we got to make sure we dress appropriately because you could be waiting out there for a while, as we know. All right, Andrew, space news, heard about this one, water confirmed on the moon. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, this is a major announcement made yesterday afternoon by NASA. 3 separate space missions have independently found water on the moon, and this landmark breakthrough has scientists shocked, because we're talking about 1 liter of water for every ton of soil. And it was made by a small instrument. You can see a photograph of it here, of the researchers looking at it. It was placed on board an Indian orbiter. It's about the size of a basketball. It's a spectrometer, and it looked at the reflected light off the surface of the moon and noticed the clear chemical fingerprint of water. And on this image, you can see on the left-hand side a crater that's fairly new on the moon's surface that was dug up about 1 million years ago. And all of that blue stuff that you see on the right-hand side is the fingerprint, chemical signature of water that's spread out, that's splattered out from the crater when there was this impact. So there's a lot of this water around, and this has clear implications for future human missions because we can use it for food, fuel, and of course, drinking.
I would have to say, Andrew, that's just about the biggest space news that I think that I perhaps ever heard since they started landing on the moon all those years ago. Okay, finally, ice on Mars.
Yeah.
Okay, so NASA was out there, and what did they find?
Well, this whole news was overshadowed by the moon news yesterday, yes. But it was yesterday afternoon. NASA also announced that there's Mars orbiter has found frozen water hiding just below the surface of the equatorial region of Mars. So this is a big find because it shows fresh craters that were made within the last year, showing the freshly dug up ice that's just a few centimeters underneath the ground. And you can see here's another impact crater showing all that ice that's been splattered onto the surface of Mars. Big finding.
All right, Andrew, boy, you're just a wealth of knowledge this week and lots of optimism as well.
It's exciting times, I tell you.
You better believe it. Okay, Andrew, of course, thank you as always for joining the program. And if you would like to find out more, especially about the Aurora Borealis forecast, well, you can find that out on Andrew's website at www.thenightskyguy.com. Stay tuned for your local forecast.